We're live. Hey. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this virtual virtual city council meeting. Today is July 8th. We are broadcasting on HPA-TV.org and on channel 96 Comcast and on channel 6032 Frontier. I'm now calling the meeting, our regular scheduled meeting, to order for July 8th. Mr. Clerk, are you there? Can we please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Here.
Councilman Clark.
Here.
Councilman Gale.
Here.
Councilman Hernandez.
Here.
Councilman Mixon. Councilwoman Rosado. Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Here.
Councilman Thomas.
Here.
Councilman Mixon. Councilwoman Rosado. You have a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. Mr. Town Clerk, shall we stand and pledge allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor, madam.
Thank you, Council President. I make a motion to approve the minutes of June 24th, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. The motion has been properly made and second to accept the minutes for the June 24, 2024 council meeting. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Wait a second,
Yes.
Mr. Clerk, can I just have one quick second?
Yes.
Do we also have to suspend the rule since we have brought another item on?
Oh, yes.
We don't do that after we
Let's-
approve the
let's-
minutes?
Well, we're approving the minutes.
And then I was going to make a motion to suspend the rules. Do you want me to
Alright.
do it together?
Please do.
Okay, so we made a motion to approve the minutes. That was seconded, correct?
Yep.
Do you want to vote on that, or do you now want me to make a motion to suspend the
so-
rules also?
Since the motion has been made and properly second, we'll just go ahead and vote on accepting the minutes for the 24th. Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk.
Okay. Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez.
Yes.
Councilman Mixon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Councilman Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Miss Majority Leader, you have the
Now I
floor.
make a motion to suspend the rules to add the supplemental agenda item 6.1.
Second.
Great. A motion has been made and properly second to suspend the rule for the council meeting for July 8th, 2024.
Madam President, can we just have a brief description of why we're suspending the rules, what's being added?
I was going to say it when I went on the consent agenda, but I can say that now. It's for the committee of the whole meeting with the accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Jeff Ocker as Director of Development Services.
Does that satisfy you, Councilman Gale?
Yes, no, I think the public should know why we're suspending the rules, Madam Chair.
Well,
Thank
I was going to say that 6.1 when I did the consent agenda, but that's fine.
That's okay. So, all right, so let's go back that the motion has been properly made and seconded. Mr. Town Clerk, we're calling the roll for the suspension of the supplemental agenda and for items to add item 6.1.
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez.
Yes.
Councilman Mixon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Councilman Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor, ma'am.
I make a motion to place the following items on consent. 3.1, Mayor Al Rulan with accompanying resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to apply for and accept a grant in the amount of $78,038.63 from the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office for fiscal year 2024 Speed and Aggressive Driving Enforcement Grant. 5.1, Council President Surgeon, Majority Leader Rossetti, Councilwoman Bilodeau, resolution authorizing the West Indian Social Club to utilize outdoor sound systems for the West Indian Celebration Week. 5.2, Council President Surgeon, Majority Leader Rossetti, Councilwoman Bilodeau, resolution authorizing the Sportsman's Athletic Club to use outdoor sound system for the West Indian Celebration Week. 5.3, which is a replacement, Councilman Kelly Bilodeau, Council President Surgeon, Assistant Majority Leader Clark, Councilman Hernandez, a resolution concerning the establishment of a Hartford Dog Park Task Force. And 6.1, which we suspended the rules for, Committee of the Whole with accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Jeff Ocker as Director of the Department of Development Services.
Second.
A motion's been properly made and seconded to put on the consent calendar items 3.1, items 5.1, items 5.2, item 5.3 as a replacement, and item 6.1. Mr. Town Clerk, call the roll, please.
Wait, Mr. Clerk, can you add my name to 5.1 and 5.2?
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'd like to offer comment. Through you, Madam President, Mr. Clerk, can you add my name to 5.1 and 5.2 as well?
Yes.
So the names of added, Mr. Town Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Madam President, point of order, I'd like to make a comment.
Sure, sir. Well, yeah, okay.
Thank
Comment, well, first of all, the motion was properly made and seconded. So I should have asked for any discussion.
That's what I meant, discussion.
Okay, okay, Councilman Mitchum, please go right ahead, sir.
Thank you. Just on the 6.1, the item that we added, which is to approve the appointment of the new Director of Development Services, Jeff Ocker. I'm going to support it, to be clear, but it came up in the Committee of the Whole meeting that we just had. He's a very qualified guy and a good choice based on his resume to direct development services. But we should think about whether having development services be in charge of housing and housing enforcement, not the creation of new housing, not the development of multi-use projects, but the straight ahead business of making sure that especially people in rental housing are protected, which is usually a very big business or an important part of what cities do. It doesn't really fit with development services, right? And he admitted, he's like, this is not what I know. I do this other thing. And we all sort of said, well, of course, because who could know all these things? We split up parks and recreation and youth services because we thought that they could be better addressed as separate departments. And I'm just taking this moment to say, here we have a very qualified candidate, but even he isn't really qualified for a big part of what DDS does. And I think he'll rise to the challenge. He's clearly smart and experienced, but we should think about how we address this question. In the question of housing and protecting tenants, we should think about whether that should be its own department, because I think we do it a disservice, and we do him a disservice by putting those things all together. That's all.
Thank you, Councilman Mitchum. Is there any other discussion? Let me just add to that, Councilman Mitchum, that's a process, that will take an ordinance to do that and get that ready for maybe the next budget process time, as I do, what the process needs to go through. So if you strongly do believe that, that's something you could take a look at, for the upcoming, fiscal year. Okay, seeing no more discussion or hearing or seeing in, Mr. Town Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Council President, I just have a quick question for clarification.
Sure.
So we just had a Committee of the Whole meeting, and I know we suspended the rules, but this was properly discharged from from committee back to council, there's a report of the discharge and the voting on it.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. That's the item 6.1. And the reason why we're doing it this way, pursuant to our council rules, remember the item has been on the agenda since June 10th, and by council rules, within 14 days, we should have had a COW meeting to appoint or not to appoint the department head. If we do not do so, they automatically are appointed. That's our council rules.
No,
So-
I understand our council rules. My question was because I didn't see the report. Maybe I missed an email of it being properly discharged back.
It's item
Okay.
6.1.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing or hearing none, Mr. Town Clerk, could you now call the roll?
Councilwoman Billadu,
Yes.
Councilman Clark, Councilman Clark, Councilman Gale.
Yes.
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 Okay, Councilman Clark, yes. Councilman Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilman Mixon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes, and Mr. Clerk, could you add my name to the other two items, please?
yes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Rosado. I mean, Rossetti.
Yes.
Sorry. Councilwoman Surgeon,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas. Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Town. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor now.
Thank you. I make a motion to refer the following items to the Committee of the Whole 3.2, Mayor Aru with accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Brian Gallagher to the position of Director of the Department of Sports and Recreation. To the Public Works, Parks, Recreation, Environment Committee, 3.2, Mayor Aru with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to grant to Eversource the necessary easements on city property to facilitate the construction and installation of the new 115 KV XLPE underground transmission lines, an 824 review and a public hearing on Monday, July 15th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Is the motion going to be seconded?
Second.
Second.
The motion has been properly made and second to refer the following item 3.2 to the Committee of a Whole, item 3.3 to the Public Works, Park and Recreation and Environmental Committee, and with an 824 review and a public hearing for July 15, 2024. Is there any discussion? Discussion, Mr. Town Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Billadu,
Yes.
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilman Mixon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Surgeon,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Council President. I make a motion to postpone the following item till August 12th, 2024, 4.1, Mayor Aru with accompanying ordinance establishing the Hartford Land Bank Authority.
The motion has been made and
Second.
I know, guys, this is summer here. Ain't everybody forgetting? Okay, so the motion has been made, and I believe System Majority Leader Clark seconded to postpone item 4.1. Are there any discussion? Seeing or hearing no discussion, Mr. Town Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Billadu,
Yes.
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilman Mixon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Town Clerk. Seeing that we have no other business, I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
Madam
And-
President, Madam President, one quick comment.
Sure.
I just want to know if it's me or does Councilman Clark look like he's incredibly sunburned?
Councilman Clark, are you incredibly sunburned?
You got
No.
a red. I mean, it's
You look red.
That's because I
You look
am
hot.
sitting outside under under my umbrella. So it's the shadow from the sun.
Well, he is right. You do look red. Well,
I thought
Don't
maybe you
forget to hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate.
well, guys, don't forget that we have a heat wave going on, and I agree with you, Majority Leader Rossetti, that we do need to hydrate. And I want every one of our residents to stay safe, stay cool. We do have cooling centers throughout the city. If you go on the City of Hartford webpage, you should be able to see where all the cooling centers is if you need to make sure you take care of yourself and drink lots of water. So seeing no other item on the agenda, I adjourn this meeting. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.